He then called back after some conversation with us and said, "That's not a problem. I don't really have any attorneys." He then called back after some conversation with us and said, "That's not a problem. I don't really have any attorneys." He then called back after some conversation with us and said, "That's not a problem. I don't really have any attorneys."
We want to announce today, as of now, we are withdrawing as counsel for Mr. Zimmerman. We've lost contact with him. Up to this point, we've had contact every day. He's gone on his own. I'm not sure what he's doing or who he's talking to, but at this point, we're withdrawing as counsel. If he wants us to come back as counsel, he will contact us. We had contact as of, I believe, Sunday. In the last couple of days, he has not returned phone calls or text messages or emails, leading me to believe that I can't go forward speaking to the public about George Zimmerman in this case as representing him, because I've lost contact with him at this point. I still believe that he was acting in self-defense that night. Nothing that I've said about him or this case has changed in any way. I just can't proceed to represent a client who doesn't stay in contact with me.
Let me provide a little bit more detail and context for that. Last Thursday, before Mr. Sonner and I went to New York to meet on Mr. Zimmerman's behalf with a number of national media organizations, Mr. Sonner was accompanied to the bank by Mr. Zimmerman's father for the purpose of setting up a website by which people might make donations in order to help support him and hopefully pay for a defense. We went to great lengths to make sure that that website was set up in a way that the PayPal account paid directly into an account on which his father had the control and the signature rights, not us. So there'd be no possibility of anyone claiming that we were doing something untoward about that. Mr. Zimmerman was aware that we were doing that. His father signed the cards. We left with the expectation of getting that site up in time to announce it for national media. We did, in fact, make that site's name known to the national media, and it was publicized to some extent, although it was, for technical reasons, didn't get posted up in time. On Sunday, we lost track of George in that he would not return our calls, and we couldn't get hold of him. We had no reason at that time to believe there was anything suspect. But on Monday, we began fielding questions about, did we know anything about the I'm the Real George Zimmerman, or the GeorgeZimmerman.com website? And our initial response was, well, that's probably bogus. George hasn't talked to us about that. We don't know about it. So we started making inquiries and frankly confirmed that he, through friends or family, had in fact set that site up and it was legitimate. We immediately began telling the media, disregard the earlier website we gave you that we had set up. Go with the one that we now know that he set up. Cleaner for us. We were happy enough with that, but disturbed that he had not communicated with us. We started reaching out in every way that we knew how to get him. Eventually, the two newest developments are that we learned that he had called Sean Hannity of Fox News directly, not through us, and we believe, I can't confirm this, we believe that he spoke directly with Sean off the record, and he's not even willing to tell us what our client told him. The final straw, if you will, or the final decision-making point was today we spoke with the Special Prosecutor's Office out of Jacksonville. We have been working over the weekend and diligently trying to set up a meeting between Mr. Zimmerman and the Special Prosecutor's Office because, quite frankly, we continue to believe that once that part of the puzzle is completed, given the evidence as we understand it to exist, and given the rest of the facts and the law as we know it exists, that this prosecutor who's elected not to go with a grand jury would in fact make a decision. We were hopeful that decision would be to not inform against him and not to seek an indictment. That was our intention. We were a bit astonished and had some conversation back and forth with the Special Prosecutor's Office. They are professionals as well. We're impressed with the professionalism of the Duval County State Attorney's Office, Angela Corey's office, Bernie, the others involved in the office up there, and they told us what we expected was, we're not going to talk to a criminal potential defendant or suspect or target of an investigation without counsel. We're just not going to do it. And they told him that. He then called back after some conversation with us and said, that's not a problem. I don't really have any attorneys anymore. Those guys were just my legal advisors. I'm not sure what the distinction is, but in his mind there's a distinction. And at that point in time, with us unable to communicate with our client, with him not taking the advice that we had to just basically don't talk to other people. It's his absolute right to talk to whoever he wants to. We can no longer represent him until such time as he may come forward and ask for that